So picture this. You work massive days at work, like which you wake up in the morning tired from the day before. You have to smash a couple of coffees just to get going. You get on your skates and you head on out to work to do your thing for the day. As you're going throughout your day, you're constantly putting out fires left, right, and center. Employees who are hassling you, you got team members who are hassling you, customers who are hassling you. Everyone's coming at you, and literally your job is just to keep your head above water and survive this fucking thing. You're trying to grow it as much as possible because, well, the reason why us men want to be successful in business and want to do really well in careers is because we want to provide for our family. See, the thing about being a man is we have a fucking duty to provide. Like, that is our whole purpose. The whole reason for men existing is to provide for our families, to provide financially, to provide security, to provide safety, to provide love. That's what we're here for in order to provide. And so that's why you're working, so that you can set up so that your wife, your partner, your kids have the best future that they can possibly get. And so you're working your butt off. But it's coming at a cost to you, as it does for like most business owners. And by the time you get home, you're already cooked, right? You want to go play with your kids. You want to go kick a footy around, play a little bit of soccer, but you can't because you're exhausted and you haven't been to the gym in however long because, well, fuck, you don't have time for that because you got a family, because you got work, because you got all that stuff going on. And then at the same time, too, the last thing you want to do is exercise just because you're absolutely rooted and you just want to kick back, knock over a cold beer, and then watch some footy on the TV, right? When you want to go and connect with your wife, it's kind of like your spark is just lost. It's not there anymore because every time you go out and do a date night, you're thinking about work and the million things that you need to do. And she'll be talking and she'll just be looking like right past you. Or so you'll be looking right past her and she'll be talking. He's like, hey, are you going to listen to me at all? And you're like, oh, what? Sorry, I was just thinking about something else. She's like, yeah, I fucking know, because you do this every single time we go out for dinner, right? Sex life's non-existent because, well, your missus isn't going to bang you if you're not even going to hold a conversation with her, right? That's a bit of a turn-off. And it just feels like you're putting in all the effort, you're working all the time, you're carrying everyone, your team, your employees, your customers, your family, everything, but you're not getting terribly much back. And you're putting your heart and soul into this, and it feels like you're not being appreciated. But at the same time, you know that you're not giving your family what they need. And so if that sounds familiar to you, well, welcome to my life from a couple of years ago, because I was working my butt off. I was working ridiculously hard, punching like 80, 90, 100-hour weeks just to get by and just to keep my business floating. And it sucked. By the way, for those of you who don't know me, I'm James Kent. I'm the founder and owner of JCF Coaching, and I'm a former workaholic. I used to work way too much, and I used to live this life that I just described. What I do now is I help men have more energy, less stress, less anxiety, and make a fuckload more money so they can actually hang out and spend amazing time with their family like I've been able to. In the last really 10 months, I've doubled the size of my business. I've worked 65% less. I spend a shitload of time with my missus, and I'm the best husband in the world. And that's one thing I'm proud as fuck about, is that I'm always there for my wife. I'm very, very present with her, and I work really, really hard on being incredible. Because here's the thing, right? Us as men, our duty is to provide, but we always get hung up on one area of providing. That's providing the financial aspect. You sure as hell need to make a lot of money to look after your family and to give to allow you to survive and to provide at an adequate level. You definitely need to be big on the finances. And one thing I want to say, right? A lot of people say money isn't everything, right? Well, I can tell you one thing, right? Back when I was 19, I was broke as fuck. I didn't have any money. My parents were supporting me through university. I hardly had $1 to my name. And when I hardly had $1 to my name, life was okay. I definitely got by. Now I have a significant amount of money to my name. For those of you in my group, I talked about, how we've made a large amount of money recently and how I'm going to be spending it. And I've got a lot of money. And I tell you what, I sure as shit would rather have a lot of money than have not much money. Anytime somebody says, oh, don't worry about making money, just look after your family, that'll be fine. Well, it's pretty fucking difficult to look after your family when you're broke, isn't it? I mean, last time that I checked, school had fees, Soccer had fees, footy had fees, ballet had fees, food had fees. Like everything costs money. So without money, you're not going to have a very good time. It is our duty as a man to provide financially, most certainly, but not only financially. And I think this is one of the biggest things that we screw up is that we're meant to provide financially, but we're also meant to provide with our love, with our care, with our affection, with our time. For our wife, who should be our number one, our wives and our partners, we need to be able to provide our presence. We need to be there as an ear to listen to them, someone to talk with, and to be able to have a genuine, loving relationship. Because if we don't do that, well, when we split up, because that always inevitably happens, if you have two people who aren't communicating, you're going to break up. And some of you guys can probably relate with that now. I have been in many relationships where I screwed it up because I was being a workaholic. And even with Soph, I'm just so blessed that I have such an incredible woman who I'm now married to, that she stuck by me even when I was working massive hours per week and I wasn't communicating terribly well with her. We often reminisce about how I used to be and talk about that and how different I am now to where I was back then. And she'd say, I'd have a stressful day and she could tell in my face, because your wife always knows when you're stressed. And she'd say, "Oh, what's going wrong?" And I'd say, "Nothing. I'm fine. It's okay. Don't worry about it." And then I go back to being quiet and being a recluse. So when we're doing that, we're not giving our family what we need. Or whenever we're with our kids and we're hanging out with the people that need us and need us to guide. The fact is, the role of a man is to be the leader, is to be the mentor. And the man needs to be leading in a very, very big way. And so if we're not showing up and we're not giving love, we're not giving affection to our kids, if we're not being able to show them how to handle stress, how to handle anxiety, how to have energy throughout the day, well, of course they're going to go and screw up. If you look at a lot of kids, there more and more kids than ever are being diagnosed with ADHD these days. And we all see that, right? Loads of kids, every fucking other kid's on Ritalin now and all these other gnarly drugs. They don't have ADHD. What they do have is DDD, dad deficit disorder. And so many of us men, we are so focused on providing. Kudos to you for providing, but we're so focused on providing, we forget all the other aspects of it, right? And so what I'm going to talk about in this video is how I managed to grow my business by 252%, reduce my work hours by 65%, so I can do what actually matters, right? What we're actually here for. That is, provide for our family, provide love for our family, security, safety, time, and presence, and the things that we need to be. Because here's the thing, in the end of the day, I don't think anybody ever goes into a relationship thinking, I want to fuck this up. I don't want to communicate with my wife. I want to be grumpy. I want to be short. I want to be tired and anxious and out of energy all the time. I don't think anybody ever starts a business saying, hey, I want this to be really stressful and I want to work 100 hours a week and I don't want to earn much money. Nobody ever starts a business for that. I mean, let's be honest. Let's look at what the dream is. The dream is to be able to run a business or have a career where we're very successful and we get remunerated very, very well. We get paid to a very, very high level. We get to work hours which suit us and work to our lifestyle. We get to be an incredible partner or father or husband to our kids, to our families, to the people that matter to us most. We want to live a fucking awesome life. But let's be honest, how many of us get caught up in the rat race along the way of work, and work taking over, right? So what we need to do is this. Now, the very first thing is the reason why so many people get caught up in work is because you have to work really hard in order to get anywhere. I'm not going to go and say like there's some magical secret where you do this one shift and then all of a sudden you don't have to create any more value and you make millions. That's why so many people get wrecked in crypto. You've seen the crypto crash recently, the share market recently. How many people got smashed by that? Because we're looking for an easy way to make money. Here's the thing. If you want to make a lot of money, this is exactly how you do it. And I made millions and millions and millions doing it this way. Like well in excess of $10 million doing this. Provide a fucking shitload of value. Simple as that. Provide an enormous amount of value so people value you so highly because you give them so much. You help them make money. You help them be happy. You help them gain social status. Whatever it is that you do, you solve their problems to such a high level that you become invaluable and they want to pay you a lot of money, right? That is how you do it. So if value is the whole name of the game, well, then how can we optimize how much we increase our value? This is how I managed to increase my business by 252% while working less. Everyone does the opposite. You go out and you do like a lot of business coaching these days. And I've done a lot of business coaching. Remember, I spent 300 grand a year on mentors. And that's probably one of the reasons why JCF has been able to grow to such a massive level. Everyone will tell you this. You just got to work really hard. Just hustle, just grind, just put in the hours and eventually you'll get there. Well, here's the thing. Everyone's been doing that for years, yet 9 in 10 businesses still fail. The real reason why people are overworked and underpaid is this. And the real thing which is holding you back from being a provider in all levels, not just financial, but in terms of being a father that is there, that is present, that is actively involved with the family, is this, is you're missing out on the efficiency dials and you're suffering all the second order consequences. There are two things here that I'm going to run through you, right? So first of all, who here has ever been drunk before, right? We've all been drunk. Who here has ever been hungover before? We've all probably been hungover at a stage. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say that when you're hungover and you got that greasy cotton mouth feeling the next morning and your skin reeks and your brain's foggy and your head hurts because you didn't drink any water last night and you're tired and you're dehydrated and you're a little bit grumpy, I'm going to take it that when you feel like that, you probably don't do your best work, right? You've probably had days where you perform better than when you're not hungover, right? Well, here's the thing. Most people, with the way they feel every day, is they're operating literally like they're hungover. And it's fucking crazy. In fact, I've got a whole training on this. If you want to learn about it, just comment nervous system down below and I'll send it across to you. But pretty much every single day, if you're not doing these efficiency dials, you're acting like you're hungover. Just comment nervous system if you want to learn more about that. I'll give you the full training for it. What efficiency dials are is these are things which maximize our ability to perform. So imagine the efficiency dials dialed all the way down. Dial it all the way back. That is where you're hungover. When you're hungover is where your efficiency dials are dialed all the way down. Your productivity is down, your brain functions down, your focus is down, your energy is down, your anxiety is up, your stress is up, your decision making is poorer, everything is more difficult. And what happens when we're like this is we can't do as much work. We don't do as good quality work. And we often end up screwing up more things than what we do really, really well. Now, let's flip it the other way. Let's dial that efficiency dial up. Let's make it so you have the golden touch. I call this the Midas touch, right? If you remember, Midas is a Greek god. I think he's a Greek god. Everything he touched turns to gold, right? And let's say that you got the Midas touch, because on that day, and you know these days, right? You know those days where you wake up in the morning, you rock hard, right? You're pitching a tent. You run downstairs because you feel freaking awesome. You skip your coffee because you feel so good. You're on your way to work. You're already having good conversations. You do the best job ever on sales or on product or on marketing or whatever it is that you do. You're crushing it. You're walking through the office. You high five everybody on the way through because you're just feeling really good. Everyone turns around and says, what's wrong with him? He's in like a really good mood today, right? When you're on song, when every single thing is perfect, how much do you get done in those days? Loads. How well do you lead your team? Really well. How much do you grow your business? Very, very much. So when we look at this, we've got two extremes. We've got the efficiency dials dialed all the way down and the efficiency dials dialed all the way up. Which way would you like it to be? Now, I don't know about you, but I figure that life's already hard enough. So I kind of want to play on what I call sandbox mode, which is making it easy. So I always choose to have my efficiency dials dialed all the way up. And that is how I've managed to go and increase my business by 252% while working 65% less. That's a big, big improvement, right? Absolute game changer, not just for me financially, but mentally too, and for my family. Because remember, the whole reason why we do this is to be good providers for our family so that we can actually be there to give them a better life. It's not just about us, it's about what we're doing this for. But you know what's crazy? Is how much time have you actually spent on investing in these efficiency dials? How much time have you thought about, hey, what if I made it so that every day I had the Midas touch? What if I made it so that every day I was just on peak performance? And very few people ever think about this. Whereas most people live every single day like they're hungover. Be honest here. Who wakes up in the morning still tired? Who gets stressed? Who gets anxious? Who sometimes feels like they kind of lost their mojo a little bit? Who feels like maybe they don't make the best decisions all the time because their brain's a bit foggy, a little bit cloudy? Or maybe you're not quite as charismatic as what you'd like to be. You're not quite as confident as what you'd like to be. If you said yes to any of those, your efficiency dialer is dialed all the way down. And this is a problem because this is where we come on to the next thing that I was going to talk to you about, which is second order consequences. Second order consequences are where things happen which are not what we first think of. For example, you don't sleep well at night. We wake up the next morning, we feel tired. That is a first order consequence. Now, most people think, oh, okay, if I don't sleep well, I'm not going to feel good the next day. I'm going to be a little bit tired. Right? That's where most of the thoughts stop. But then the smart person, the high level business owner, the high level executive, the dude who wants to crush it in his career and his life and be a really good level of provider, he starts thinking about all the follow-on effects from this, the butterfly effect, if you will. Because when you're tired, you also do poorer work and you get less done, which means that your ability to provide value goes down, which means that your need to work harder goes up. So you have to work more hours, which means you get less time with your family. You can't hang out with your wife as much. You don't get to do date night, which means she gets the shits. And so you guys start fighting, which becomes stressful on you, which takes up more of your time, which means you now have less time to work. So you've got to try and cram it in and find where you're going to spend those extra hours, which then goes and affects your sleep because you're fighting, you're not getting on well. Plus you're working your ass off and now you're missing the gym and now you're not dieting well. And all these second and third and fourth and fifth and 10th and 20th order consequences start rolling on in, all because you didn't look after your sleep. And that happens every single day. I mean, look back in your life. Can you think of a day where you didn't sleep very well? Maybe it was last night. And where you wake up and maybe you're a bit of a dick to your receptionist. And then out of that, she was then grumpy to somebody else and it cost you a customer, right? You get what I'm getting at? Second order consequences are massive, but they also go the other way as well, which is really, really freaking cool. Because if they go the other way, that means that, well, hang on, if I have the golden touch, if I have the Midas touch, what happens? I wake up in the morning, I give the missus a quick one because she wants it and she loves it. So she's happy before you've even gone to work. You go to work, you high five everybody in there. Your team love you. Like, this dude is awesome. What a cool boss to have, or what a cool team leader to have, or whatever it is that your role is. You go and you chat with your customers and you have the best chin wag ever, and they absolutely love you because you're a cool cat. You solve all their problems. You make them a lot of money. You do whatever it is that your role is for these customers, right? And they love you and think you're great. And they're like, geez, that guy's nice. Not only is he solving all of my problems, but also he's a real pleasure to deal with. How about I give him a referral? And then you get a referral just pulling it out of thin air for doing nothing but other than being freaking awesome. You get what I'm painting, right? When you have the dials dialed up, the second order consequences start working for you instead of against you. And this is where you've got a decision. Are you going to stay with all these efficiency dials dialed down, all the way down and living your life hungover? Or are you going to dial them up? And what are the second order consequences that you want? Do you want to be able to wake up in the morning, rock hard, feeling awesome and energetic, and, give your wife 5, 10, 15 minutes of good loving, right? Let's be honest, it's more like 2 minutes, but we'll say 15 anyway. But be able to do that. Do you want to be able to do that? Do you want to have that life? Well, if you do, and you don't want to be stuck feeling like you have low energy, like you are stressed, like you are anxious, if you don't want to be stuck with your efficiency dials dialed down, I got something for you. This is exactly how we do this for thousands of guys. Now, you'll see some of the fellas who will be commenting on this right now. Unfortunately, Facebook's not showing me who's commenting or not, but I'm pretty sure now I've seen Mick Liston, I've seen Adam Ash, I've seen Marcus Norton. And these guys, the guys who we coach, we've done this thousands of times over, and we've helped people make collectively millions of dollars doing this, while at the same time spending more time with their family. Because in the end of the day, that's what matters. As us being a provider, we need to provide financially. We need to provide with our time, safety, security, and our presence and our love for our family. This is exactly how we do it. So whenever you want to optimize your body, you need to, first of all, you need to fix your nervous system, right? And we have a program which is specifically designed to fix your nervous system, which dials all those efficiency dials all the way up. This is the key difference of our program, which nobody else does. This is why people come to us and get results that they've never been able to get in their life, because they come to us and they use our nervous system, the system we use to optimize the nervous system, and we dial that efficiency dial all the way up to get you to the Midas touch, right? We have a step-by-step course which teaches you about every single thing that you need to do. We plan out every single thing that you need to do in your day, and it literally takes 20 minutes a week to learn and 20 minutes a day to do. That's it. That was the whole theory around this, because we're already busy enough. So we need to have a plan which is going to work maximally fast in a maximally short amount of time. Does that make sense? And the cool thing about this too is that when you're on this program, right, you're going to experience results literally within the first 33 minutes of starting, and you're going to see a dramatic change in you within 30 days, right? So if you could get into the Midas touch zone within 30 days, what impact would that have on your life? Would you be able to make more money? We work with a lot of sales guys and a lot of sales dudes. Their results just go through the roof. We've got one guy who went from making 10K a month up to 50K a month with us, and now has more time to go and do fun stuff because, fuck, why not? He's rich. He's crushing it now. There are loads of guys who can benefit from that. Like, how much of an impact would that have on you in 30 days? So that's step number one, is we optimize your body. We get you to teach you absolutely everything, single thing that you need to do in order to optimize your body, fix your brain function, optimize your stress, your energy, and your anxiety, and crush it using our the system we have based around the nervous system and the hierarchy of health. The second thing after that we do is we give you accountability so that you can be held accountable every single day so that you get this done. Because let's be honest, when you're busy, what happens? You forget about you. You're worrying about every single other person. You're worrying about your wife, your kids, your business, employees, customers. Who's last? You. And so unless someone's holding you accountable, chances are it's probably going to fall to the wayside. You've probably tried doing these things before, and they probably haven't worked because you probably haven't had the right level of accountability. We work under 3 levels of accountability: individual, coach, and group accountability. Number 1 is an individual is holding himself accountable. That one doesn't matter too much. But the next one is big, a coach accountability, having someone who is looking over you every single day and is making sure that you are doing exactly what you need to do. And the third level is group accountability, because we introduce you to our group, we bring you into our community, and we make it so that you're surrounded by a bunch of dudes who are crushing it just like you. You know what's also really cool about our group is networking. Being in around our group, can you imagine if you're able to rub shoulders every single day with guys who are doing millions of dollars of turnover in their business? I'm talking between like 1 million all the way up to about $80 million a year in turnover. Wouldn't that be a cool network to have? Do you reckon maybe you could make a connection or two and make a little bit of money out of that in the future? Yeah, you probably could. That's why we do it. And then the third level that we have out of this is we give you access to people that you wouldn't normally have access to, guys who are exceptionally high level, and bring them in so that you can level up and you can make a whole heap more money. Does that make sense? So we're going to give you absolutely every single thing that you need in order to crush it. Now, if that sounds exciting to you, then cool, I got something for you. So all you need to do is just click on the link down below, right? Or depending on where you're watching this, you may or may not see the link. Click on the link down below. If you don't see a link right now, comment program, right? And when you comment program, I'll get in touch with you and I'll shoot you a message and I'll give you all the information about this, like expand all this out. But pretty much the whole goal of this program that we run and how we work with guys just like you is we want to make you a savage within 30 days. That is our whole plan. We're going to get you to a stage where literally every single problem that you need solved is solved within 30 days. And then we're going to make you a superstar. And we're going to see how much we can optimize your cognitive performance, your energy, your stress, your anxiety, and see how much of a stud we can turn you into within 30 days. And then from there, onwards and upwards, we're going to make it so that you absolutely dominate, just like all the other guys. Nashi tripled his income. Goober doubled his income. Marcus has gone from being nearly broke to turning over $80 million a year. Like, it's ridiculous. These are the results that a lot of our guys get. And you know, the coolest thing about this is that Nashi has the best relationship with his wife that he's ever had, and he's the best dad that he's ever been for his kids. We've got a full thing coming out about Nashi. It's going to be fucking sick. He's crushing it. Goober is the closest that he's ever been with his missus, and Goober's a really fucking awesome guy. Marcus and his partner are the best that they've ever been as well. Like, every single person gets better in every single way, because here's the thing. When you are better, you provide better. When you are thinking better, you can be a better business owner, be a better leader. You're able to make a whole heap of money because you produce so much more value. You're able to be more present with your wife and actually listen to her and talk to her and communicate with her. You're able to be there for your kids and be patient and lead and show up. Because let's be honest, our kids don't do what we say. They do what we do. They imitate us. Monkey see, monkey do. And when you start stepping up, so do they as well. And that's one of the most beautiful things about this program, is that not only are you going to get really fucking rich out of doing it, but at the same time, you're going to be an awesome human being, and you're going to level up every single person in your family who is important to you that you care about. Okay. On that note, guys, I'm going to leave you all to it. Now, if you haven't seen the link, you can't click the link, comment program down below and we'll get you all the information for this. Or if you do see the link and it's around there, just click on that link. It'll take you through and give you some more information. You can jump on, have a chat with us, and we'll see exactly what you need to do in order to dominate this and get you to a stage where your efficiency dials are dialed all the way up. I'll leave you all to it, guys. Hope this helped you out. And please just fucking do it. This increased my business by 252% and reduced the amount that I work by 65% in 10 months. You can 100% do this. On that note, guys, I'll leave you all to it. Adios, amigos.